Hey Sprinter, today we talk the discovery call or discovery session if you are in person there. Can happen over Zoom, can happen at the client's place, can happen at your place, but it's where the rubber meets the road, right? This is probably the tool that has the most material impact on your sales because this is the sales conversation itself. So I'm quite excited. And let's dive deep into the discovery call and what it means for you. I have put together a template that you can download later on, and you will see that it's not actually one closing. Most literature focuses on the closing of the deal in the call. And the closing is important, but it does not happen once. We have around 12 moments where we ask something. So in the beginning, we ask for time. Even in the cold call, if you're using cold call or the first time you want a meeting, you are asking for time. So you are already closing a commitment to spend 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 15 minutes with you. So why should I do it? What's the value? In every fractal of that whole sales process, we have to create value. That's what we call the value ladder. How can we instill value in each step? Because if you don't have that, you cannot get that commitment. First commitment, the time commitment, then the risk commitment, the quality commitment, the execution commitment. There are many commitments that we need to get in order to close the deal. And what we are seeing right now in B2B sales happening a lot with agencies, consulting agencies, marketing agencies, PR agencies, UX, UI agencies, SEO agencies, telling us, Simon, I had them all almost closed. I was 95% sure, but then that last moment, the last 5 meters, they ghosted me. When you hear that, and we are hearing that now since 21 years, so we have started backwards engineering. What happens when this happens? Why do teams get ghosted in the last mile? And that depends on the 11 things you did before. So that's why now we will go deep into all 11 things and how you can handle them. So the whole thing is supercharging your sales, because we will find now 15 risk reduction tactics. So why risk reduction? Simon, we're talking closing deals. Yes, but when you offer a deal to somebody, for them, it's always risk. So in each stage, we will think about the risk that they face, the emotion that they go through, from confusion to clarity to excitement. And we will think about how can we de-risk their decision. Because sales is not selling something. Sales is helping them buy, helping them take the best decision, whatever the best decision is for them. And if it's your product or service, well, then you help them buy. But it's you helping them buy. And when you help somebody to buy, that means that you listen well, that you understand, that you ask more questions than you give answers. And in this process of listening, you move them into taking a set of decisions. We will see here 12 decisions. And so how can you be the best possible decision support for them? This is sales. Help people take the best decisions. So it's not pushing something on them, it's helping them buy. The second thing is they go through emotions. Confusion, overwhelm, then clarity, then excitement. We have to look also at the emotional level. And then they go through an energy cycle. Low, otherwise they wouldn't have called you. And then high in the end, otherwise they will not say yes to a high-ticket B2B deal, which is 20K, 50K, 800K. They don't go through that if the energy is not higher at the end of the conversation than it was in the beginning. So what's the practical side. Simon, what does it mean now? How do we do it? We will look at the discovery session, which comes obviously after the qualification, making sure that they are the right people. And some people split it into multiple sessions. And then you have to think also about the delivery that comes afterwards. So the steps are, you will find them in the template. First step is the call. So if you have an outbound process, you are calling strangers, you are asking for their time, right? In our case, we don't even have a cold calling system. We start directly with qualification. We use an audit or a quiz to do that, because then we know exactly who they are, what they need, where they want to go. Are they willing to pay? Are they willing to change? Are they able to commit? And so in the very beginning, you are asking for time. For example, if you want to get a call with them, or if you want to have them complete a quiz, an audit, a survey, a form, make sure that you're giving them 3 benefits and a time. Now you are de-risking. For example, our audit is in 8 minutes. You will know your bottleneck and how to move forward. So 8 minutes. Okay, can I risk putting 8 minutes in for the reward? Because it's always a risk to reward situation. So risk 8 minute, reward, I might have clarity about my next steps. For entrepreneurs, that is important. So many moving parts, which one to tackle first? So make sure you have your 3 benefits and a time estimation ready. The 3 benefits, show them the reward, and the time limit, 8 minutes, shows them the risk. I'm risking 8 minutes. Now they can decide. Remember, we are helping them decide. So now they can take a decision. What's the risk reward of putting 8 minutes into this call? I don't know these guys. So I can waste 8 minutes, or I can gain. What's the risk reward? Okay, 8 minutes to clarity on my business. Nice ratio. I'm in. So now you prepare by thinking about them. Where are they? Of course, you Google them, you go LinkedIn, you do your homework, Google reviews. You think about also, you read their last posts and find out what kind of person are they, right? Are they more analytic, or are they more empathetic, or are they more fast thinkers, fast deciders? Whatever your model is that you use to understand who they are, you can do a DISC kind of personality assessment just by looking at their post, the words they use. You can read 3 posts and you know long sentences, short sentences, which kind of words they use. And you want to use those words because that shows that you are actually listening to them. So that's the short preparation, can be 5 minutes. Visualization, and there are tools for that, you want to improve that or automate that. Then visualization. This is really the discovery session itself. I see people not doing this and I always wonder why they're not doing it. For example, an amazing sales trainer, one of the best in his field, taking notes on his own iPad and talking to the other person. But the other person doesn't know what you are writing down. So you create a disconnect. And anytime you have a disconnect, you increase the risk on the other side. So don't do that. Visualize publicly. Visualize transparently. Like I'm doing right now here. I'm visualizing with you here, trying to be as transparent as possible. This is how you do it. And so one thing is transparency. The other thing is to narrow the field. Narrow the field. For example, we will explore these 4 fields. Thinking of a VR agency that we work with, virtual reality. And so they say, hey, let's talk VR. And we will explore these 4 fields in the discovery call. After that, you will know where you are and where you can be. and how VR can help you with that. Does that sound interesting to you? Should we spend half an hour? This is how they get them to the discovery call, and then they come prepared with this and say, all right, you are here, you want to move here. This is not how VR can help. This is how VR can help. Should I put together a more detailed presentation for the next time? Because it seems that we should talk more. Okay, you visualize live, you listen, and the best conversations are where you ask more questions than them and they are learning more than you, okay? You lead the number of questions, they lead the number of insights, okay? One thing that you have to explore, so for example, what happens if they ask you for the price now? Okay, yeah, sounds great. Give me the price. Much too early, you don't talk price, you go and explore the goals first. What do you want to accomplish? What are your goals? Huh? So you are now talking about their wants, not their needs yet. We will do needs later. They don't always know what they need, but they know what they want. So let's listen to what they want. You want VR in this case? Or let's say you are a marketing agency. You want a campaign. Why do you want a campaign? And what happens if you don't start a campaign? And did you do other campaigns? And what was the experience? So ask them about the change that they want to start and what the pattern was in the last attempts to start this change. Okay, you want to change because you're describing going from A to B. For example, now that ChatGPT is here, we want to move from being a commodity to being a strategic value asset. All right, you're moving from A to B. What do you need in order to move from A to B? And this is where you write down every word. This one matters. And then you say, okay, if you want to, did I understand correctly? You want to move from A to B. This is what you need in order to move there. These are your past experience that you don't want to replicate, and these are past experiences that you want to replicate. So now, what is it that you need to decide? You will hear now in which stages they are. I'm just in the shopping stage, or I have 5 criteria and I'm looking for agencies. I'm just looking for your agency. Whatever the decision is that they need to take here, help them take this decision. And now you will run out of time, probably, because it will be kind of end of your call. If it's a 45 minutes call, 60 minutes call, you are now at around the end, and they will ask you now, what should I do? So there is numbers telling us that if we only openly explore, we close less, because what they want to move from, if we look at the emotions, they are moving from confusion, overwhelm, to clarity, to excitement. And you cannot help them get to clarity by just asking questions. You can get to a certain point, but then you have to add one thing, and that's a recommendation. Remember, we are helping them decide. So the best thing we can do here is showing them how we would decide, both the process and the content. Because if you are an expert in your field, you have seen these decisions taken hundreds of times, and you are taking decisions dozens of times. So you are the expert. And tell them, if I were you, I would do A, B, and C in this exact order. And that can be, the opposite of your product. It's totally fine in the discovery call. It's not fine in the demo call, but they didn't get the demo yet, okay? So right now, you recommend, I would do A, B, C. And this is the order I would do it in. The reason why this helps them, and this creates immediate clarity, there is data on this. There is data from HubSpot, there is data from other sources that I'm happy to share, that when the salesperson says, I would do this, they go from foggy to clear, and either it helps them and they do it, or it doesn't, but both clarifies a lot for them. And we're moving from confusion to clarity. After your recommendation, you run out of time usually here. In a few cases, very good salespeople can do that whole thing and close in one, but need to be a very experienced person who is selling one thing for a very long time, and don't expect it. Expect that mostly now the time will be over and you schedule the next meeting. And you say either, okay, no, that's it, I cannot help you, sorry, but I can refer you to this person or to this resource, or, hey, I can help you. So my recommendation is you do ABC, and if you want, I can do a detailed demo with you and your whole team, and I will show you exactly how I would do it. And if they say yes, cool, you schedule the next meeting, and in the next meeting, that's what we call the demo session. Now the goal is to close, because you know where they are, where they want to be, the transformation. So in between, you have also told them already what it costs and the price options. I did not put it here explicitly because it's just part of your mini presentation that you do there. And it's not a specific part where you present. It's just out of the conversation. They will ask you anyways, how do you work? And you tell them. But it's not in focus. That's why it's not in here. It will happen when they ask you. Okay? So that's why I don't have a presentation part like many have. Because we don't plan for that. When they ask you, you tell. You show. And you will show multiple things. You will show here, ideally, a plan of how you work. For example, we have a 90 days program. We say, okay, this is how we work. In month 1, this happens. In month 2, this happens. In month 3, this happens. And in there are the quality control mechanisms, how we will ensure 12 times that you are progressing. And if you are not progressing, what we will do to make sure that you're progressing. So, and in here, there will be a more detailed plan, because now we know more, and now it's per week. So this was per month. This is now per week. There is a plan of what will happen in each week. This is back to risk reduction. Remember, we wanted to reduce the risk for them. How do you reduce the risk? By showing the process. Of course, you cannot know the content, but you can show the progress. Okay? So how will the process be of getting to that, of getting them to that? And in the beginning of the demo session, you will have concerns to deal with. And I will do an additional video. This video is getting long. I will do an additional video on how to deal with those concerns, the objection handling. And I will show you the typical objections and how to handle them in the next video. So right now we are at concerns. Respectfully, listen to all these concerns. If they don't bring them up, you bring them up proactively. They were objections in the beginning, but now they are concerns. So because you have covered so much ground together, now you have quite some relationship already. And they will ask you, but what if it's the wrong time? What if I'm not there yet with my team? What if it doesn't work? And we will cover each one of those in the next video called objection handling. After those concerns are discussed, you now talk about inaction. What happens if you don't act? So there is an ROI, which is the return on their investment. You have to clarify that. But then there is also the cost of inaction. What happens if nothing happens? And here I also like to visualize from research that most people think that if nothing happens, then they stay blue, right? And if they do something, then they go up yellow here. So Clayton Christensen has done research on this. Most people think if I do nothing, everything keeps the same. So if I am an agency and I don't work on improving my sales will be the same as last month. And if I improve my sales, that will go up yellow. The reality is, if you don't work on your sales, your competitors will work on their sales in that time. So the real cost of inaction is not zero. It's quite a sum. This is the real maths of inaction. It's this one. And what that number is different for each team, but it's quite a number. It makes a significant difference. So what is the cost of inaction? ROI and cost of inaction. If we do nothing, this is not what happens. This is what happens. Okay? So let's work on this. The risks. It's full of risk. What if it doesn't work? What if your team doesn't deliver? What if my team doesn't deliver? What if we want to deliver, but then something happens? So we have to show them the de-risking mechanisms. You need mechanisms in place. One mechanism is a guarantee. There are many ways of doing guarantees. I can do an own video on that. Money back guarantee, 1 more month guarantee, many different guarantees. Another one is quality control loops. And you can come up with even better. But what you need a mechanism. You cannot say, well, I don't know. You need a mechanism that makes sure that this will work. And if it doesn't work, that there is a mechanism in place that brings is back on track. Then again, the invest. This is where you will discuss again the ROI and the COI. Maybe you will need this and you remind this again. And now you're ready. Now you can agree. If you have pricing options, you can discuss pricing options. They might negotiate the price here. And then it's start date. Start date. And after you have scheduled the start date, now that you have an agreement, you send a statement of work. This is the first time you send anything. You have never sent a presentation. You have never sent an offer so far. And if they ask you before, you say, yeah, we'll get there in a moment. I need now more clarity first. Okay? I don't know what I am agreeing upon, so I cannot send an agreement. I don't know if we work together, so I cannot send you a statement of work. And this is very important that in each stage, it's about decisions, and every decision is fine. There is decision A, there is decision B. I help you explore them. I help you take the right decision. I recommend you one. Okay? Decision is on you. How can I help? How can I support? Did I understand this correctly? Okay. This is how you move forward. Okay? You help them make decisions. Next video is about objection handling. So keep rolling. Go sell some deals. Have fun.
What if your business would run well even when you are on vacation? Discover how 1,600 business owners have regained their freedom using the Strategy Sprints blueprints. How they enjoy living their dream and watching their business scale. Get the exact checklists they use to go from stressed to fulfilled using the Strategy Sprints method. Order your copy of Strategy Sprints 12 Ways to Accelerate Growth for an Agile Business on Amazon today. And if you love it, leave us a review. For more information, head over to strategysprints.com.